Welcome to the Angels, Magic and Joy podcast. This podcast is for those who seek answers from above, guidance and magical inspiration.
Immerse yourself in the realms of magic, angels, fairies, unicorns, dragons, and so much more. I'm Kirsty Jandrell, and I'm delighted to be here with you today.
And I am Kate Latchfeld.
Hello and welcome back, my love. Welcome back. And this is a very special episode of the Angels, Magic and Joy podcast. Kate and I are thrilled to be welcoming the beautiful soul that is Anette Rieger, a truly magical being. So welcome, Annette, and thank you for joining us. Oh, and Annette is a facilitator of many beautiful online and in-person gatherings all across Europe. She's truly a multidimensional healer. She describes herself as a water fairy. She's an Atlantean high priestess, a daughter of the goddess, an Avalon moon high priestess, white light and white flame, and much, much more besides. So welcome, Annette, my love. We're delighted to have you as a guest. And you're a true spiritual polymath, I would say. So many talents. So for those of you who are not aware, for those people who are in our audience who are maybe not aware of you, would you be able to describe some of the magic that you're bringing through to the world right now, please? And maybe also a little bit about how you found your way onto your current path, please.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for having me, Kate and Kirsty. I'm really happy and humbled. And yes, I think I'll start with my way, how it all happened. So I was born awake in 1970, fully awake. And as you can imagine, this was pretty difficult. And I've always been connected with the angels, with the angelic realm. They were always there. And I thought it's like this for everyone. I thought it's just normal. Yeah. And around about at the age of 6, I found out, no, the others think I'm insane or just like crazy or mad or whatever. And so I stopped. I tried to just kept it all inside of me. And when my father died, when I was 11, I really totally stopped. I stepped away from everything and stepped into other energies just to survive and just to keep it going. And at the age of 22, I got so severely sick and no one knew what I had. Couldn't tell. I couldn't eat anymore. I got even slimmer and slimmer. And I'm a person who loves life and food and pleasure. So and I couldn't eat and I was just like disappearing. And no one knew, no doctor knew what I had. And in the end, it was just like I had to just come back to who I was. And this was also very difficult because we're talking of the year 1992. So, but right from this moment, I started to search for books, for teachers, for everything, for like everything I could just get hold on, just like any kind of spiritual teaching. So I stepped into the Kabbalah. I did like it's regression work. I did so many courses until I found the angels and they found me again. And this is when the magic began. And since then, I started to come back and back and back even more to become the true being that I am. And this is still a process, and I think it's a process the whole life. I'm incarnated here, but I'm so happy and humble and grateful. Yeah, just to found that I found others that I found my call. You know, I used to work as a social worker, and this was wonderful work. But I always knew this is not my job in the end. I mean, I'm still a kind of social worker, but with angels now. Um, and this is how it happened. This is the very, very short version. And I found out, and this is something I haven't talked about a lot till yet, is that I'm a channel for Mary, for beloved Mary. And this often happens now in the one-to-ones that she's coming through. And combined with the angel or the angelic work, it's so beautiful. And I'm grateful every single day. And this also comes because I am also working with Huna, you know, where the Ho'oponopono comes from. And this means the world to me. And it's always like remembering. I always remembered the stuff I got through or brought through. It wasn't, sometimes I needed a teacher, but only to remember me, to remind me what I already knew. And this is how I'm working too. I only remind and remember people of their true, divine, beautiful power and gifts and talents. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. And I've got these different tools you just said with White Flame of Atlantis, which really was, I really cried when I found out I'm carrying it, because I thought, I cannot be worthy. I mean, how? And it was Tim Wild, who really helped me through this, because it's really brought me into a crisis, because I thought this is too much responsibility for such a small human being. And now I know none of us is a small human being, but it felt like this at this time. I think maybe you know this too. Yeah.
Can you, before we dive in even further, I love what you say, and you know, it really is a remembrance, and I feel like lots of those that they will be listening now, if they don't feel fully on their path, they can resonate with that it's only the remembrance, remembering who we are. It's nothing new. It's just remembering and, you know, reconnecting. I'm just curious, before we dive in any further, you know, your Atlantean connection, about this initiation. How did it look? You've mentioned Tim Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, you know, how did it look like, you know, maybe almost in everyday life? Because I feel like very often we might get initiated, we might have the remembrance, but we don't have the understanding of what is actually happening. So maybe if you could share your story, how did it look like? So maybe somebody can, you know, resonate with that. Or probably I'm asking for myself anyway.
Yeah, it was very like an everyday thing. You know, I was swimming. I love to swim. This is my sport. This is when I'm totally relaxed. And one of my guides is Serapis Bay. And he loves to chat with me while I'm swimming, because then I'm fully myself and I'm fully relaxed and talking to no one else, no music on the ears, nothing, just the water and me. And it was in summer 2022 when he just said, "You are one of the keepers of the White Flame of Atlantis." And I thought, okay, that's fine. Sounds nice. So I had no idea. I think somewhere deep inside it resonated and I knew, but you know, my everyday mind just said, oh, that's fine. And I used to work with it on a daily basis, really, like every single day, just calling it in, sending it out, and that's it. And in November 2023, I attended the Portugal event from Diana Cooper and Tim and Mia Kafkios, and I was a volunteer there. Also magical how it happened. And this was the first time when I realized what kind of responsibility the White Flame held. And I think it was this like, the way that I treated it like a child, with innocence and happiness and gratefulness, what made it so precious. Because I mean, I was aware it's something like divine, but I'm just like a very happy person, and I love to, okay, I'm working with a white flame too. That's fine. That's great. So like this. And I think that's why I got it, because there was no stern, like I was just, yeah. But then I really fell into a crisis after Diana said how important it is and what it made. And yeah, so Tim Wilde really helped me out on this. We had a little chat and he just calmed me down, and
So beautiful. And I just wanted to this potency, it's one of the key words in the podcast, and it's this frequency of joy, Annette, and this purity that you hold. Are this beautiful vessel for this, and this channel for this pure vibration that is so needed. And as you say, as Kate said, it's a remembrance, and it's I think there's such a beautiful message in there that, there's actually not a lot to be done. It's just to open, to ask, and to connect, and in your case with Cypress Bay, and to then step back and receive, and in that gorgeous way of being able to connect with that childlike wonder. As you say, when you first received it, it was like, oh, that's nice. Thank you. And I just love that. That's just pure and bounded joy, which is what it's all about. So thank you so much for sort of bringing that through. I love it.
you're welcome. I mean, I think what could be helpful for others is just a small thing I want to share is about Tim. We had a one-to-one, I think, in 2020, long ago. And at the end of this session, he said, "You don't need me anymore. Next time when we meet, we'll meet like eye to eye, from master to master." And I thought, uh-huh. Yeah, blah blah. Like I thought, I couldn't believe it. I just saw no way how this could happen. And I forgot about this. And that's good. I just forgot. And then we met like accidentally in Portugal again. And then in person to person. And we both remembered the last thing he said. And he said, "Yes, here you are." And I was totally surprised. And I said, "Yes, you're right." Yeah, that's how it is. And I think most things are coming, like, do you say organically? Just if you open your heart, if you, yeah, and believe in yourself, and if you love yourself, I think that's one of the very, very important things.
And speaking of loving ourselves, because I feel like this topic and this theme, that's kind of we're moving in our podcast today. I feel like, towards the unconditional love, and it's like, I feel like it's got no end of the depths to it. And we're really curious about your view of how do you understand, Annette, the unconditional love, and what it means to you personally, and why and if is it so important right now in the times we're in, transitional times, if you like. How do you view it, and what are your nuggets into the unconditional love? Just yeah.
Yeah, this is, it's not an easy question because it's got so many facets. But one of my other mentors is Paul Dobry-Carey, and he also taught me a lot. But what I remember the most is that he always said to me, "Annette, be in harmony. Even if someone's really nasty or mean or whatever, like, be in harmony, and be in harmony who you are and what you are." And combined with a Huna wisdom, which came back to me at the same time, I really stepped into it's a way, and it's a process, into the process of really not judging myself anymore. Really just to realize I'm doing as good as I can. It's just, and it's not better at the moment. I cannot do anything else at the moment. And I really worked on myself a lot, on my self-love and self-acceptance for my body, for my life, for everything. And I'm still do. I still do. And it's not always working, but it changed. It changed myself, and it changed also my perspective on others, because judgment really just doesn't matter anymore. I've never been a very judgmental person, but I think we all are, like in a kind of way. I think it's human, it's normal. And this opened the gateways to this, what we call this huge word, unconditional love. And for me, it starts with unconditional self-love. It's just my opinion, but I think if you haven't mastered this, you cannot talk or speak about unconditional love. And also the angels opened my eyes for it in one-to-one. They took me out of my body and said, we're going to show you what we call the angel eyes. And I thought, oh, what's this? And then I saw this person in front of me, and it still brings me to tears, because I had this huge, complete acceptance for this person in this moment. It was a client, but it was just wow. And I will never forget this feeling. And this changed me and really brought me back to what I am. What because it's really important. It's not only who I am, it's also what I am, or what we are, like remembering. And we are all loving beings, loving souls, and we want to be loved and not judged. We don't grow with pressure, we grow with love. And that's my way to it, or how I did it. And so, but I'm still, it's work in progress. Yeah.
Thank you, Annette. That's we've all got this connection. We share this connection with the angelic realm, the three of us. And as you were talking, I was looking at each of us, and that there was almost that sort of, yes, that angelic perspective is so, when we've experienced it, it's such a gift, because it just, as you say, it just melts through any judgment of others, of self. And it's, as you were talking, that the concept of unity, of oneness, and of lack of division, which is so accessible to us, isn't it, at the moment? Even within the spiritual field, there is so much potential division and separation, and it's so beautiful that you've talked about that consistent work that is self-love, because it absolutely is an everyday practice. So thank you for that. I'm digging in a little bit deeper, Annette. Why do you feel personally that it's so important now, in this moment, for light workers on this path? And I think we can all possibly agree that we are in it. We're in the work. We're in the deep transitory energies, the chrysalis, if you like, of where we are, where we are becoming, where we are remembering. Why do you feel it's so important for light workers, and anyone, in fact, who's incarnated at this point, to sit in unconditional love? And you mentioned acceptance and the role that plays. Could you talk into that in a little bit more depth, please?
Yeah. I think, like, I'm really connected with Venus and Andromeda. So love is it's my base. It's the base of the work. And I think, this is just my opinion, but I think it should be for everyone. Because if we work with love, And if we open our heart more and more for ourselves and for others, call me naive, but I think then we can't go wrong, because we don't even have to know anything about spiritual work. If our hearts are open and if we act as loving and caring human beings, this is what is ascension for me. It's not like reading 10 million books or knowing all the stuff. That's fine. That's wonderful. But this is what it means for me. And, I found something I call the sister wound. It's not the witch wound, it's a sister wound. Just like other women working in the spiritual field. And at the beginning, I thought we all just support each other. It's just normal. For me, it's just like you meet each other and you like each other and you just help and support and work together or not. But it's, like there's like an understanding, because we're all calling ourselves light workers. And then there needs to be like a certain kind of level that your heart is open. And I had some really unpleasant meetings, and it took me 2 years to get over it. But this was my trigger. And I thought, and this is a bit judgmental from me, but how can anyone do light work without loving the others? You need to love everyone, but you need have your heart open and being in a state of love. And this is a very quiet thing. This is nothing you're talking about. It's just being love. And I think our heart chakra and our higher heart are the most important chakras for me. I think they are the center. And we have to work on all of them for sure. I'm working with 15 to 18 chakras now, but I always come back to the heart, always, because this is where the magic happens. And this is where the angels connect. Certainly they do at the causal chakra too, but for me, this is really the heart. So, yeah.
And speaking of the heart, and Avalon and Glastonbury, because you've mentioned so many things that they're connecting three of us that you can already see. But Avalon and Glastonbury, okay, that's a biggie. I was waiting all this time to start talking about this, okay, to ask you. I won't deny, and we can tell from your work, Annette, that you're very much connected to Glastonbury, to the land. You organize workshops and events there. Can you talk into what called you there initially, and how your relationship to the land evolved there, and just give it all to us. So how did you connect? Like, please tell us all. Okay, we have a few more hours to listen. There's no
maybe
problem.
You have to
We're
stop
all here
me.
for that.
Yeah, God has called me first when I was 13, like a teenage girl in really turbulent times. And I didn't know what this call was. I had no idea. But I knew somehow it's Goddess. And a few weeks later, I was gifted with the books, The Mists of Avalon, by an aunt of mine. And I read it just like, wow, in a week or few days. And I thought, well, that's it. This is how I remember. And I thought, maybe I'm just like, I had no one to talk about, just to share, but I felt. And then I just put it away. And it took me until I was 40 years old. On my 40th birthday, I finally came home to Avalon. I was able to really lift the veils and come home. And I had small kids at this time, and I came home with my sons and my husband. And it was just like, I knew this place. I mean, I didn't knew it like this, but I remembered like the smell. I remembered the land, the energies. I can see the ley lines. And since then, I come back like 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes just on my own, just to work on myself and let Goddess work with me, or doing workshops. And when I'm there and when I'm not working with others, I'm just walking the land of Goddess. I'm just walking and just laying down with my whole body, just like face down, and just trying to help and support the earth and the beings, and reconnecting to my fairy friends and sisters and brothers. And yeah, and when I'm working, when I'm really hosting the workshops in Avalon, it's just like Goddess is always calling me. She's telling me what kind of workshop I have to do, where and when. So people are always asking me, can't you plan it in advance, just like a little bit longer? And I said, no, I have to wait until I hear her call. And yeah, one year there was no call. I think that I wasn't there. It was terrible for me, but she didn't let me in. I don't know. I think it was during this funny years. I think it was 2019 or something. I don't know, but it was one year I wasn't, and I really missed it, but she didn't let me come. So Goddess is just taking over when I'm home. And she's really like ruling my life there. And I meet the most wonderful people there, just like this. It just happens. And I'm so grateful. And 2 years ago, no, 1 year ago, I can't remember, I initiated myself in the White Spring as the priestess, the high priestess of Avalon. I just dived really deep in the White Spring in the last, water thing in the end. It's really cold. And I really gave myself to her completely. I just gave up all the thinking, all the worrying. I just thought, okay, Goddess, I'm in your hands. I'm back. And since then, I'm fully back. And life got so much easier because this was just like another piece of me that came back. And it was very important to me, this is just me, to do this on my own and in the womb of the tour. And I didn't need anyone else to tell me that I'm a high priestess, like just to say I'm worthy. I decided and I knew I'm worthy because I knew Goddess wouldn't have let me in the White Spring if I wasn't worthy and welcomed. So yeah, this was a very, very magical moment for me and very important for my life. And yeah, on the other hand, I'm just like trying to help where I can, just really helping to support the White Spring because he had a lot of attacks recently, and I'm really helping there. And but my most favorite place is the Chalice Well, is the garden. The fairy I am, it's really, once I got lost, like I really stepped into the fairy realm. And this is when my kids were small, and I'm really a devoted mother, but I was there and I thought, the kids they can grow up with her father. That's fine. I'll stay here. And I was with my fairy sisters, and it was so amazing. But then the huge oak, do you know the oak tree at the very end of the Chalice Well? Huge. And it was October. It just like threw its little oak fruits, I don't know how you call them, on me, on my body. And this is really painful, like on my head. And I felt my body again, and chuck, I was back. And since then, I'm really careful. So yeah, such a lot of magic can happen in Avalon. So yes.
Oh, I could listen to you for hours. Those little snippets. I love that.
Yeah.
We were laughing, weren't we, before we came on and talking about the fairies and how we needed to respect them and be careful.
Yes.
They're powerful beings. But yeah, I love the the way, again, it's this thread of opening the heart, surrendering, listening, and being led, following
Yeah.
that call. It's just so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, so back in the room. Um, would love, love, love. We are sitting here on the in the Lionsgate portal, aren't we, ladies? We're 2 days away from the peak of the energies. We're 2 days away from the 8-8 energies, and I would love. It's so difficult, really, to put into words, I think, how 2025 has already um passed, and it almost seems like a heartbeat and an eon at the same time. It's, I don't know if you feel the same, but would love to hear your take, Annette, on how you feel 2025, how you've experienced it so far, please. What magic has unfolded, or what initiations have happened, and also how you expect, or how you feel, what you're feeling into for the rest of the calendar year, or maybe up until the December solstice, please. That's a huge question. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. Wow, yeah. 2025. I mean, I start every single year full of hope. I always say, this is going to be the best year. So I'm always convinced. And so far, it's a year full of happiness and full of tears. I think it's equal. It's really challenging. I had to step out of my comfort zone so many times. So many times. And but also I had like so many gifts and found, like new people and new connections. And again, everything happened so organically. It's just like, this year is just like flowing for me. I mean, it has its obstacles, absolutely. But I had huge heart openings, and I had like one-to-ones who really blew me away, where I thought, wow, I mean, I'm doing this for 15 years now. But I thought, okay, there are so many new levels to the work. One-to-ones I got and one-to-ones I gave. So it's simply amazing. And I've got lots of Leo placements, so the Lionsgate is always a bit like, I'm not sure what's going to happen with me. So, and since it opened, it's just the same. It's just like 2025 in a small amount of time. So many tears and so many miracles, same time. So, but I've got a lot of work to do at the moment, really, like so many people need support and help, and I'm so happy to do it. But I also feel I really, really have to take care for myself. I cannot take too many appointments because I really have to go for a swim just to recover and need to soak up the sun and the light coats and everything. And then I'm ready. But I really have to take care. So, and what I'm seeing for the rest of this year, I'm always positive. And what I feel and what my guides are telling me or showing me, there are so many possibilities for all of us just to grow together and really building this kind of sacred geometry together of oneness and connecting through love and follow our hearts. So I know there will be a lot of challenges for all of us, but we can decide which timeline we want now. We really can decide. It's upon us. And we are just 2 days away from this huge manifestation portal. It's so huge. And I think, I mean, I'm doing like a moon circle there, and so many people offer such wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I think it's good to go, but also it's just so easy to do it on your own. Like really manifesting right from the heart, just connect with Gaia, connect with the angels and the sun and the moon, and just do it. So I think it's all about also our thought patterns, like what do we expect? Do we expect the best, or yeah, the other thing? So yeah, and I would recommend really to stay away from any kind of media, news or something, because yes, this is going to heat up. But if you don't care, it won't touch you. It doesn't affect your timeline or your world. So this is how I see it.
I love that you mentioned, it's actually all about our approach anyway, and our thought patterns. Of course, we're conditioned in a certain way, but we always have that choice in each moment. We always have that choice to choose which timeline, but we decide how we view it. We decide how we actually experience it. Is it, destroying us, or we see hope in it? We see another gateway in it. We see another new possibilities in it, regardless of what kind of experience is that. So I love that you bring that forward, Annette. And speaking of that, we have in our podcast, we have our little tradition, and one of the questions we ask, and I would like to have another 5 hours with you, Annette, just for this particular question, which is your most magical and angelic, joyous moment. But I'll try to narrow it down so we can fit it in. Something that you've already shared plenty, but as you speak, I can feel, you're just giving us a little surface and we want more. So something, speaking of your journey, your deepest transformation, some events, when that magic, when those angels, maybe fairies, because we didn't talk much about fairies, and I'm kind of, missing out a bit, but some events from your life, because I always find that when we share our experiences, it opens eyes for others, for us, to see more, to view more through the experiences of others. So yeah, Annette, do you have any experiences you would like to share? Something that brings that transformation forward.
Yeah. Actually, it was the birth of my second child, who is called Yona, and it's a son, and we decided to call him Yona Raphael. These were the two names we had in mind. And when he was born, he the cord just was wrapped around his neck, and he just went totally blue. So he was really in life danger. And I didn't realize it. I just thought, oh, yeah, head is born, fine. And then I realized everything was happening and everything was panicking, and that just hit like a button. This is what I remember. And the next thing I remember was just like a huge white, I thought it's a doctor, coming in. And I thought, how is this doctor coming in through this door when it's 3 meters high? Like, I thought, wow, this is a huge woman. I was extremely white. It's just shining bright. But my mind, I wasn't just capable to realize. And I thought, oh, wow, she's huge. And they saved my boy. I really saved them last second. And then the doctor was just like normal size again, and I held my boy in my arms, and I was talking to my husband, and I said, I don't know why, but I think we should call him Yona Gabriel instead of Yona Raphael. And we both had no idea why. And it was only like 3 or 4 days after the birth, I realized that the angels stepped in to save my boy, and that it was Gabriel. And I mean, I was already an angel practitioner at this time, but I just didn't realize. And this particular boy, this son of mine, he's so connected with Gabriel, and he saved him. And I believed totally in angels before, as you know, but this experience was so life-changing for me. Just like a birth is also like always an initiation, a huge one for both parents. But this was topped with an angelic happening. It was, and I'm still, I mean, it's 18 years ago. He's grown up now, amazing boy. But wow, it's still was one of the most impressing angel presences I've ever experienced. Yeah. And it's funny how the mind works, that I thought, oh, wow, huge woman. Yeah.
Oh, Annette, that is such a beautiful story. Thank you. Thank you. And that's
Welcome.
oh, I felt him there as you were talking, and yeah, just so beautiful. I have a certain not um a life or death thing, but Gabriel was with me throughout my pregnancy too, and I didn't realize. And it's yeah, to hear you to see that, it's isn't it funny what our rational minds tell us in the moment as well, just to kind of keep us sort of working and functioning, I suppose. And then it's only afterwards that you realize,
Yeah.
wow, that is just so gorgeous, so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Such a
you.
blessing. Yeah.
I love, well, I really feel like we could really go on, but we are aware of time. So how do people get in touch with you to experience your magic, please, Annette? What is the best way for people to reach out? Because as you say, there's so many beautiful souls in need of support and connection. And yeah, if you could let us know, we will put all of the details in the show notes, of course. But if we could hear it from you, that would be wonderful. Thank
Yeah. Yeah, I think via my website, which will be new in a few weeks' time. So it'll be in English and in German then, so much more easier to access and with a booking system and everything. So you can also get in touch with me via Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok. So yeah, I'm just available like on all social media channels. And I will also be in Glastonbury in October with my wonderful Priestess astrologer friend Morgana Safia. So from the 3rd to the 5th of October, we will be hosting like a workshop, will be called Goddess Awakening. So
Oh,
yes, so if anyone wants to meet me like in person, and
yes.
amazing Morgana Safia too. So yeah, let me know.
You, thank you. Well, I have experienced your magic firsthand at one of your beautiful workshops that you held with Tim Watt in Germany, and it was yeah, we talk of unconditional love, and you create this space where everybody feels so welcomed at a soul level and so safe. Um, Honestly, so thank you. So if you are accessible to Glastonbury, we'll put all those details
Yes,
beneath as well, 3rd and the 5th.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
And also, Tim is coming back to Germany next year
Yes.
in
Yes.
April. So we're just on the details, so we'll send it out soon. But yeah,
Perfect. And people can sign up for your newsletter, can they, Annetta, as well?
I haven't got a newsletter yet, but I
Oh,
will have all the details on the
brilliant on
website.
the website.
But I always share on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, because there's
Amazing.
so many stuff I'm doing and I'm
Yes.
offering.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It's been
Oh,
Thank
such
you
a
for your
joy.
offering today. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
thank you for having me. This
I
meant the
hope
world to me.
I hope maybe in the future we can have another part to have more fairies and other things because I feel
Yes,
we could have more. Okay.
I've got a lot to tell about fairies. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Annetta part 2 then, the fairy realm. We'll get that booked in.
Yes, please. I'd be happy.
Oh, thank you, my loves, and thank you everybody for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kate and Kirsty. Thank you so much.
Thank
Really.
you
It's
so
been
much.
a joy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And if you enjoyed this episode, please don't be shy, subscribe or like or follow, and yeah, we'll be bringing you many more in the future. Lots of love and blessings to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.